Right, listen. So that is called attenuation, right? The next one is what an amplification. Why do we do amplify? Why do we do the amplification? Please tell me.
To increase the strength of the signal.
To increase the strength of the signal. Why do we increase the strength of the signal?
It is necessary to emit the information.
Hmm? So whenever we're sending information to the medium, gradually the strength of the signal will be decreases. So in order to increase the strength of the signal, we need to do what, Anna? We need to do amplify. We need to do amplification. Okay, now that is the thing. So now what is amplification? It is a process of increasing the strength of the signal. And then it is the process of increasing the strength of the signal is called amplification. Okay, now it is the process. It is the process of increasing. What increasing? Increasing the strength. Strength of the signal. Using what? Using an amplifier. Using an amplifier. Okay, now the device which is used to amplify the signal is called what? An amplifier. Okay, now.
Amplify.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Amplifier. Amplifier. Okay, understood? So this is called amplification. This is called what? An amplification. Any doubts up to now?
No, sir.
Right. Next one more term, that is range. One more term is called what? An range. So here what happens in between? So for example, see, you are here and your friend will be here. You're sending information. So here what happened in between? There is some distance, right? There is some distance between you and your friend. This is your the transmitter. This is your transmitter. Through transmitter, we are sending information. Here, this is the receiver, receives the information, right? So in between transmitter and receiver, there is this some large distance. Okay, now the largest distance between the source and the receiver. The source and the receiver. The transmitter is called what? A source. Okay, now the transmitter is always called what? A source, and this is called receiver is called what? A destination. Okay, now, right? So the largest distance between the source and the destination is called the range. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So the largest
I'm meeting
the largest distance between the source means transmitter, source and the destination is what? A receiver. Destination is called what? A range. And then this is called range. Okay. Next to one more term. So actually we are not send the signals directly into the medium. We are not send the signals directly into the medium. So here what happens, Nana? We superimpose these signals to some other signals which is having more energetic signals. Such a process is called what, Nana? Modulation. Very important term, that is modulation. Okay, now. So here we cannot send the signals directly into the space. So here we are superimposing these message signals onto some high frequency signals. High frequency means one high energetic signal, so that these signals can travel for long distances. Such process called what, modulation. We are going to discuss modulation in detail. Okay, I'm going to introduce one more term, that is modulation. Modulation. So what is modulation, Anna? Here we are superimposing our message signals onto what? A carrier wave. What is carrier wave? For example, if you want to go from one place to another place, for example, if you want to travel from Kamadanam to Hyderabad, how can we travel, Anna? How can we travel?
By bus.
By bus, right? So that bus is
Yes,
called your carrier. Antena? The bus is called your carrier. Right?
Carrier.
So now you are here. So you will sit inside the bus and you will travel. This is your Kamadanam. And your destination is what, Anna? Your destination is your Hyderabad. So that what happens?
Hyderabad.
You travel through this bus. You travel through this bus. So after, whenever you reach this Hyderabad, what happens, Anna? You left with this bus. Antena? Bus to intiko tara. You leave this bus and you will go. Antena?
Yes,
Now
sir.
your bus is called carrier. This bus is called what, na? Carrier. Okay, na? So here, this is called modulation. This is called what? Modulation. The process of superimposing the message signal. You are nothing but the message signal to what, na? Carrier wave. Carrier signal is called modulation. So whenever we do like this, what happens, na? We can reach very fastly, right? And then, if you go directly, how much time it will take to reach Hyderabad, Nana?
Without any carrier, sir.
Without carrier, without any carrier, if you go directly, can we reach Hyderabad? We can reach, but it will take much time. Avna?
Yes, sir.
And our strength also,
Yes, sir.
our strength also decreases. The strength also decreases. But for example, if you use a carrier, what happens? We can reach immediately, and our strength, there is no change in our strength, right? We cannot lose our strength. Understood? Okay, Nana, this is called the modulation. This is called the modulation. Now, how to define modulation? Example, arthamainda, Nana?
Yes, sir.
Right? What is modulation? What is modulation? Can you define what is modulation? It is the process of superimposing. This word is important. Superimposing the message signal over carrier wave is called what, Nana? Modulation. Understood? Actually, what is our aim? Please tell me.
Sir.
Actually, what is our aim, Nana? What is our aim? Our ultimate aim is to send the message signal to the receiver. Antena?
Yes, sir.
Our ultimate aim is to send the message signal to the receiver. How we are sending? We are superimposing the message signal to what? High frequency carrier wave, so that what happens? It can travel more fast and there is no loss in the message signal. Okay, na? That's why we are doing what? Modulation. That's why we're doing what, Anna? Modulation. Is it fine? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. After reaching the receiver, any need of a carrier wave? Do we need any carrier wave, Nana?
No. Yes, sir.
No, we don't want any bus. Okay, na? We want only ourselves only. Antena?
Yes, sir.
Antena? ఈ బస్ లో పోయినాం రిసీవర్ దగ్గర పోయినాక బస్సు మనకి ఎందుకు రా మనకు కావాల్సిన మెసేజ్ సిగ్నల్ గా అంతేనా we need the message signal. We don't want any bus is nothing but carrier wave. Okay, now. So here what happens now? Now here we have to do demodulation. Antena? We need to remove the carrier wave. Antena?
Yes, sir.
So that is
Demodulation.
called demodulation, the process of separating the message signal from carrier wave. Demodulation. Okay, what is demodulation, Anna? The process of separating. The process of separating. What separating we are? What separating the message signal? Separating.
Message
Separating
signal
the
Carrier.
message
from the carrier.
message signal from carrier wave. Okay,
Okay, sir.
is called demodulation. Okay, now demodulation, separating. Spelling correct? And separating.
Team Carlin, sir.
PA, sir. PA.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now separating. Right, na? Right. So this is
Yes,
called
sir.
demodulation. The process of separating the message signal from the carrier wave is called what, Anna? Demodulation. Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
So these are the some basic terms we are using in this communication systems. In these communication systems. Okay, understood?
Understood, sir.
Right. Very good.
Sir.
Do you want these notes? If you want to take screenshots, I will give. If you want, otherwise I will
Send the notes, sir.
I will forward. Okay. So if I tell like this, it will take much time. So that's why I'm going to impose this PDF. It is very easy to explain to me, and it is very easy to understand you also through pictures. Okay. Is it fine?
Yes, okay, sir. Yes,
Right.
sir.
Listen. The communication means what? What is communication? The communication means the transmission of information. Cheppina.
Transmission of information. Yes,
The
sir.
communication is nothing but it is the transmission of information. So what is communication? Whatever we are speaking, whatever we are listening, this is called what an communication. We can do through communication, the speaking and listening, whatever happening. This is through what communication, right? So in between you and me, there is a communication channel will be there, right?
Yes,
so through
sir.
this only we are
Yes, sir.
you people are listening my words. Otherwise you can't. Okay. Right, the signal from the send from a sending a message as you code signal. The signals may be what the code may be in the signaling, smoke, beating of drums. So various types of process are there. Some code language signals will be there, some drums will be there, beating of drums. Okay, now these are all signals. Using telephone and TV, satellite communication, these are all you already know, right? What is communication? It is an act of transmission and reception of information, right? The communication nothing but we are sending the information and we receive the information. Sending and receiving, transmitting and reception. Okay, now this is called communication. Okay, no. All right. For a successful communication, what we required, we need a sender, means a transmitter.
Yes, a transmitter and receiver.
We need a receiver, and we must understand the same language. The transmitter, the receiver, and the sender must understand the same language. For example, if I send the voice message from my side, the sender will sending a voice message, and the receiver will receive electrical message. So can we understand this receiver, this electronic message?
No, sir.
No, he can't understand the electrical message. He has to receive what the same voice message. Then only the receiver can understand what the sender is sending. Okay, now that's why both the transmitter and receiver must understand the same language. Must understand what same language. Understood?
Yes, sir.
right? This is what some introduction they already given. Just to go through these notes, I will forward to you. Is it visible? All right.
Yes, sir.
So the scientist Marconi was the first scientist who established the transmission in the year of 1901. Okay, now 1901, the scientist Marconi. No need to remember all these things. Just know you have to know. J.C. Bose, the scientist, made significant contribution to this transmission communication systems, and optical fiber communications. Okay, now the telephonic conversation, whatever we are doing, that is through what optical fiber communications. Optical fiber communication. This was started in the era of 1975 in USA. Optical fiber communications. Okay. Next, who invented WWW, World Wide Web, in the year of 1990? Tim Berners-Lee. And then
Tim Berners-Lee.
Tim
Yes,
Berners-Lee invented World Wide Web, that is in the year of 1919. Communication, right? Next, what is communication? The radio and television provides us the visual information. And then if the radio, from radio we can understand only the audio. And then from radio we can understand only audio. But for example, if you see the television also, from television
Audio and video.
we can understand both audio and video. And then audio and video.
Video. Yes, sir.
Right? So the present day communication is mainly due to what? Electronic and optical communication. Okay, now nowadays we are using this type of communication. We are sending electronic signals, electrical pulses, and light signals we are sending through very far distances, and there we can, by using transducers, we can convert. Okay, by using transducers we can convert one form of energy into another form of energy. And then
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
all right. Next one. This is theoretical chapter, communication system. So in any communication system, whatever the main things we require, Nana?
Transmitter,
Medium or
medium,
channel and receiver.
Okay, na? In any communication system, we require three things. One is transmitter, receiver, and communication channel. See, this is a transmitter. This is a transmitter, and this is the receiver. We fix these two. Okay, now we fix these two. In between, we have a medium. That is nothing but air medium we have. Okay. See, this is a communication system black diagram. This is a communication system one on a black diagram. This diagram is very, very important. Listen carefully. See, so this is the information we are sending. From the source, we are sending what information. And here, this information is converted into what? Message signal. Okay, na? The information is converted into what? Message signal. Tell me, what is information? What is information?
message.
What is information? What is information?
The message conveys.
The message to be conveyed. And then
Yes, sir.
the message to be conveyed is called information. And then so what is message signal? What is message signal?
Information, electrical.
Cheppin asked now, what's all important? The information should be in electrical form. The information should be in electrical form. Okay, now. So here what happens? Here we have information, that is audio information. We are converting this audio information to what message signal means electrical form. Okay, now electrical form by using what? Transducer. By using what here? What we are using?
Transducer, sir.
What is transducer? What is transducer?
It is a device that
It is a device which changes the form of energy to another.
Understood? Here what happens, Nana? Here the sound energy is converted into what? An electrical energy, Anjana,
Electrical energy. Yes, sir.
right? That's why we are using what? Transducer. By using a transducer, we are converting the information into what? A message signal, and which is fed to a transmitter, which is fed to what? A transmitter. Through transmitter, the signal is what? Which is sent into the atmosphere, into the space, in the form of transmitted signal, and this signal is propagating through a channel. Okay, na? And by propagating through the channel, it reached the receiver. This receiver receives this transmitted signal, and here it is converted into what? Again message signal. It gives the message signal, and here we are using another transducer. This transducer converts electrical energy into what? Sound signals that you can understand. That is
Understand the
user
message.
of information. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Black diagram. Entire communication will be in this black diagram. Once again, I will tell you, listen carefully. The step by step, I will tell you, please listen carefully. Very, very important. If you understand this black diagram, entire communication system, you understood. Okay. In the first, what happens, Nana? In the first step, what happens? You are here. Okay, now you need to send the signal, that is voice signals, to what? A receiver. Okay, now he has to hear the signal. So that what happens? This is what your information in the form of sound signals. So here, by using a transducer, we convert these sound signals into what? Message signal, which is in electrical form, and this is fed to transmitted. This transmitted what? Will send, will transfer the signal in the transmitted signal. What is this transmitted signal? I will explain later. Okay. And this transmitted signal propagates through channel, and this reaches to the receiver. This receiver receives this transmitted signal in the, which is in electrical form, and which is converted into what? Sound signals by using a transducer, that you can understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
This is what the right. I already told you. I told you, right? So how many types of communication systems we have, Nana?
Two, sir.
Point to
Two
point and
types.
broadcast. What is point to point?
Broadcast.
Single transmitted and single receiver.
And single receiver.
What is broadcast? A large number of receivers.
A large number of
receivers.
Single transmitter, large number of
Single
listeners.
transmitter.
Example, TV. Cheppina, TV cheppina.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, these are the things. Transducer cheppina. What is transducer cheppina? Noise cheppina.
Yes, sir.
What is transmitter? What is receiver? What is attenuation?
Attenuation.
Amplification. Range.
Modulation.
Next, modulation. I will tell you bandwidth. Okay. Demodulation. And see, one more time repeated. Okay, this is what a small introduction about your communication systems. Any doubts up to here?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. Idi పరిస్థితి. So please read all these definitions. Tomorrow definitely I will ask all these definitions. Okay.
Okay, sir.